So this week we have Top Bolt, the final slice of life episode for this week, before next week we have the final, two-parter episode to wrap up Season 6. And I'm actually kind of a little bit nervous to see how everything goes for next week's episode, but we're not here to talk about all of this next week's episode. But today we're here to talk about this week's episode. And I'm actually kind of excited for Top Bolt, which is obviously a reference to the Tom Cruise film Top Gun. Now you got me thinking of Danger Zone by Kenny Loggins. But anyways, what happens here in the episode is, well, obviously it's another cutie map episode, as Rainbow Dash and Twilight are called to Wonderbolt Academy to try to figure out what's going on. Obviously, what's happening is there are new recruits being called up to the reserve. But as they're, being called up, the campsite, the two figure out just what's happening, as two of the members figure out that that two flyers that one of the flyers is giving one other person some extra confidence in their flying skills, while the other isn't noticing. And that right there I think that would automatically disqualify you from any other thing, from any other, skill or anything. That'd be a big issue, must I mind you. As, these two see it, but the others that obviously should see this do not. As, of course, they decide that obviously one has to tell the main leader about this, while the other doesn't want to say at all. The other doesn't want to say, doesn't want to talk about it. And this causes some issues. They decide to go with number one to talk about the situation. What was the issue was one side dealt with an issue with, not enough attention, and another side had too much attention, which, if that could be a problem with not enough, with, spectrums, and I don't know where I'm going with this, but it seems to be opposite ends and all, and they weren't, uneven at all. So both of them became friends at a young age, and they just became friends just because the flyer at a young age just gave the male one confidence in his flying skills, just because she could boost his flying ego, just because he wasn't a good flyer. And the idea that they have is to make them fly much more higher than they were before. But as this happens, splitting them apart, it doesn't work very well. the truth gets out as soon as this happens. And of course, it doesn't, and of course tensions are high. And of course, as they work along with each other, they do work things out. And they do train a bit better instead of, like, cheating. And of course, they do become best of friends much more better. And of course, they wind up becoming now part of the Wonderbolt Academy. And that's where the episode ends. Like, I do not know. As you can tell, Top Bolt is a hard episode for me to describe. I like the idea, the concept for the episode, and many parts of it, there are ideas for it, and the lesson for it, hands down, are the best for it. And many of it that it gives, it does it very well. And for many of the ideals that it gives. Like how one person can affect another person's idea and think that they're really creative when really somewhat they aren't. That can really affect a person. Like, I could really think back then, maybe somebody had that, like, one friend that really helped them out when really they were really helping them way too much. When is really helping them too much, is really what I got out of this. Don't know. But you just gotta let them be creative on your own. And just let the creative juices flow out of them, you know? So, overall, it's just let them enjoy what they deserve, and I guess is just take away from the episode. Train with them instead of piggyback off of what they're doing is sort of where I'm going at with this. So, yeah, I guess that's where I'm going at. But, what do you think? I don't know, but this review was just poor anyway, so just to make up for this, since I can't wait for Doctor Strange, I'm just gonna go off and see Shin Godzilla later on. So, see you guys for that review sometime down the road. So, just until later on this evening, see you guys for Shin Godzilla.